Welcome back to another episode of the Eat Well, Be Well Nutrition Podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Gruenewald, a registered dietitian at Meridian, and I have a special guest with me today, Heather Souba. Heather is Vice President of Population Health in our YouthCare program. She is also a mom herself and a foster parent. Heather, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Hannah. I'm happy to be here. It's so exciting to be able to come here and talk about not only my experience as a foster parent, but how that working as a foster parent has driven me to my career in youth care as a Vice President of Population Health. So now I am involved in the health of all of our children across the state.
Yeah, and you have experience parenting, foster parenting, and now supporting foster parents. We're talking today about food trauma and what that can look like when a kid first comes into your house, and how our members who are listening might approach that, or, maybe it already feels familiar, it's something they've seen, and some skills they can use to manage that. Tell me a little bit about food trauma and what that looks like in the house.
Food trauma is such an important topic to talk about because a lot of foster parents, and I'm sure many of the foster parents listening, have experienced food trauma or experienced working with children who have had food trauma. So one of the things I like to do first is just observe the child. And you're going to see signs of food trauma and what that looks like. You may see a child who's hoarding or hiding food. So they may be keeping fruit snacks in their sock drawer or hiding food in their backpack so they have it for later. Other signs I've seen of food trauma is a child may eat very quickly. So you may see them just shoveling the food in as fast as they can. And this is just because they're trying to get all they can before it runs out. Something I see quite frequently, and maybe many of the foster parents listening have experienced this with children that you've also fostered, they save a portion of their meal. So they'll eat just until they feel comfortable, but maybe not all the way full. And then they'll save that so that they know they have food for later.
Yeah, it really sounds like they're trying to find some sense of security. Their whole environment, their whole world has changed. They're with new people, a new house, new schedules. And so that probably feels pretty safe for the child if food maybe hasn't been very predictable or reliable in the past. What do you do when you see that? Is it surprising? Is it startling?
I think for newer foster parents, it can be very surprising. And you may have the tendency to want to fix it or stop it. But it's important to continue to monitor it because as the child feels more comfortable, that starts to decrease.
Yeah.
Some things you can do to help them with their comfort level is include them in your meal planning. So even if it's a piece of paper that you put on the refrigerator, I used to have this board that said menu and it had every day of the week and we would fill it out every, Sunday for the whole week. But including that in that meal planning. So one, they feel like they're a part of the meals, that they have some say in it, but also that provides them with a level of comfort that food is going to be there.
Yeah.
So if today's Monday and we have spaghetti scheduled for Wednesday, I get to eat on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Also being consistent with your time. So if dinner's at 6:00, try as hard as you can. I know that's hard in families, but to keep it at 6:00. And if it's going to be late, to let them know. Because that lateness to them may be a sign that it's not coming. So if you typically have dinner at 6 and it's going to be 6:30, 6:45 because basketball practice ran over for another child, letting them know that. The more comfortable they feel and knowing that the food is there and they can eat it and it's available and it's always available will help decrease some of the things that you're seeing.
Yeah. And as a dietitian and a parent myself, I know it can be a little bit frightening when you see a kid maybe not eating a whole lot or being kind of picky or sticking with just their familiar foods. which you and I have talked, and that's kind of common the first few days or maybe even weeks for a new foster child. We're not really worried at that point about nutrition content. We're really just working around food as setting. This is a place of safety, of predictability. We have food available. It's okay if they haven't had a protein or a fruit or veggie. We'll get to that,
Absolutely.
right? What's that experience been like? I mean, can you remember kids who maybe like, I just need my Cheetos or I just need my cookies, and that's what feels safe?
Yeah. So like you said, they're in a different environment. They're in a different home. I cook different than the food that they have maybe eating before with my spices or my meats that I choose. And so all of that's new. Also, a child who has food, that's a way they have control.
Yeah.
So I get in a time of complete chaos. They've just been removed from their environment and placed in a new environment, but I have control over what I eat. And so some of it may not be that they don't like it. It is that they want that control. Like, I don't want to eat your chips, right? I just want my Cheetos. Or that control over what and when and how they eat.
Yeah. And we'll always get to expanding the diet. And you fostered mostly teenagers, I think. So they were already kind of ready for some conversations around health and taking care of their body and what that means for adulthood coming up. We'll get to those conversations with them as they're more comfortable and they feel that sense of safety. So we might say, yeah, your Cheetos or your cookies, that's cool. And here's another option over time. Here's a different option. You pick one of these two. It's kind of similar to what you're familiar with, but it's a little bit new. And so we could see over time how that might help expand their comfort level with trying new foods or expanding the nutrition they're getting in, but letting them take the reins and being in control, like you said, and having choice and autonomy over that process.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't rush it. You don't have to have this perfectly running family on day one. It takes time. They have to learn you, you're learning them, if there's other kids involved.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to have a balanced meal with perfect cookie cutter iced cookies, that very first day.
Hey, that's not just for foster families. I will take that advice as well. You told me a story before we started today of like throwing cheese sticks and apples into lunch boxes of just, they've got food, they're good with it, they'll eat today. Yeah. Good enough.
As you're taking in this child who just is learning everything new. They don't even know where your bathroom is or where you keep your hand towels. Just be patient. Building those relationships through that patience makes the bond stronger. And they'll become more comfortable in their environment as you are patient and let them kind of navigate through that.
So, Heather, as families are preparing for a new child to come in, and we're maybe anticipating or predicting some food trauma or some of those kind of behaviors that you mentioned earlier, what can the family or the foster parents do to prepare for that or anticipate it?
Yeah, I think as you're preparing for a child to come into your home, just as you would have personal care items and clothing on hand, it's really important to have some food options on hand. So one is you're welcoming that child into the home. You have something to offer them. And food is a nice way to be like, hi, it's been a long day. Do you want to grab some fruit snacks? Or having a basket out on the counter where you can direct them to go grab something as a snack. And start to ease some of that anxiety immediately.
Yeah, I'm hearing you say like visible food, showing them where it is, and even having some of those universal kid favorite foods like the Cheez-Its or the Goldfish or the fruit snacks or the Cheetos. It's food that is recognizable, it's familiar, and it's also okay because it's shelf stable or pantry stable. So if they do feel like, I want to keep some of this with me, it feels safer to have a couple bags of this snack food with me, it's not going to spoil in their room at all, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That's a great point. Tell me a little bit before we wrap up today, what are some benefits and services that YouthCare has available that we want to make sure foster parents know about? What can they utilize and where do they go for that?
Yes, absolutely. It's so easy to sit here and just talk about all my wonderful experiences over the decade that I was a foster parent. But it is very important to know what your resources are because you'll need them at some point for your foster parent journey. And for YouthCare, every member has a dedicated care manager. And so at any time, if you need a resource, you have a question, you don't know where to locate something, YouthCare is there for you. We are available by phone. You can email us. You can reach out directly to your care manager, and we can be that extra layer of support as you're navigating the foster parenting world.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Heather. That was so much great information. And thank you for tuning in. As always, you can reach out with nutrition questions. Our email address is eatwellbewell@mhplan.com. Those emails come right to me, and I respond right back to you. So I can point you in the right direction of resources. I can connect you with Heather's team if you need some support. That's the place to go for it. Stay tuned. We have more episodes coming with more great guests and topics. Until then, be well.